Before we start off with today's video, I want to talk to you guys about my friends over at So Avant-Garde. So Avant-Garde is a place where you can go and you can explore a wide range of niche perfumery. So much variety. They have discovery sets, they have samples, they have a lot to offer for those looking to elevate their collection, those who are curious about other things, of other qualities, of other brands in perfumery. All right, so save yourself some money. Use my code DEDRICK10. DEDRICK10 gets you 10% off on anything on So Avant-Garde. All right, so I know a lot of people are really in love with the brand of Mind Games as well. So I got something for you too. You want to head over to Mind Games and do some discovery, do some searching, do some looking, save yourself some money by using Dedrick10 as well over at mindgames.com. All right, so head over there, see what you like, see what you're interested in. I recommend sampling. All right, and then you can get your good feel if you want to make a purchase from So Avant-Garde or mindgames.com. All right, so y'all check it out. Let me know what you guys get into, what you guys like. Let me know down below in the comments, man. And happy exploring for sure. All right, let's get started with today's video. YouTube, what's going on, YouTube? What is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy, one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell good, family. Hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. Positive energy, positive vibes. Y'all know how we get down here in this channel, man. Positive vibes only, all right? Positive vibes only for sure, okay? All right, so today we're back with a topic, man, that, you know, the cold weather, it could bring on a different a different amount of feelings and emotions and different things. But one of the most dope things about the wintertime is wearing those darker, spicier, sweeter scents that really push off those sexy vibes. All right, so today we have 10 fragrances, 10 sexy fragrances for winter 2025. And I must say, this list of 10 fragrances, it's really, really good, all right, at least to me. So let's go ahead and tap into the sexy. Whether you're talking about date night or a nice cozy night in with that special someone, or you're out, you know, for an intimate date, lounge, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to pull off those vibes, check out one of these 10, all right? Up first, from the house of Parfums de Marly, we're talking Habdan. Habdan from Parfums de Marly, one of the most underrated scents from the line, terribly underrated in my opinion. This is a beautiful rose oud that is done so well. This stuff is super sexy, man. Rose oud combo, you got some apple in here that gives it, that really you get the apple, the rose, and then the oud is kind of underlined in this fragrance. A bit of a slight spice kick in here as well, but this stuff is absolutely sexy, man. It is a vibe for real and criminally underrated. Not a lot of conversation about Habdan, but I really love it. For me personally, I'm going to dress this up. You really get dressed up, evening, night out with my wife, and, you know, head out to try to, you know, have the best time possible. And of course, when you're looking good, you're smelling good, the company is right, you're at a dope place, and, you know, the vibes are just all connected. The fragrance could just be something that could be that icing on the cake, so to speak. All right, so this is definitely one that is super sexy, great for the colder months, and one to look into. Not going to be for everybody. I know that rose oud combo is something that is a bit challenging, but the apple in here really sweetens it up. So I definitely recommend getting you a sample, but this is definitely one for sure. When I'm stepping out, really getting dressed up, heading out with my lady, this is one that I would definitely consider. As I said, from the house of Parfums de Marly, we're talking Habdan. Criminally underrated. Not too many people talk about Habdan, but that's okay, because, you know, I love it. All right, up next, from the house of Mind Games, we're talking Double Attack. Double Attack from the house of Mind Games, one of the more beautiful, sexy chocolate fragrances that I've ever got my nose on. I remember wearing this for the first time last year. Me and my wife went out, and it was pretty cool. It wasn't cold like it is now across the country, but it was pretty cool. So we sat out on the patio and had a nice dinner. Great time, as always, with me and her. And she complimented me throughout the night. Just my sillage and how I was projecting, wearing Double Attack. She would thoroughly enjoy it throughout the night, throughout the evening, and throughout the night. So Double Attack for my gourmand lovers. I wouldn't necessarily call it I wouldn't call it your traditional gourmand. You get some orange bitters, you get some spices, you get some dark chocolate in this fragrance. Not milky, creamy, sweet chocolate, not combined with the vanilla. Nah, I really, this is my kind of gourmand. I've kind of broken down my taste in gourmands, and this is it. Not a fan of the super sickly sweet fragrances. This right here is right there. That dark chocolate, orange bitter spices, very sexy stuff, man. Maybe for the mature fella, maybe for the mature man out there, and a lot of ladies really enjoy Double Attack. So check it out, fellas. Get you a sample from the House of Mind Games. We're talking Double Attack. Definitely one of the more sexier fragrances in my collection that's suited for this time of year for sure. Up next, I'm putting in this list because my wife said so. And she deemed this as one of the top sexiest fragrances in my entire collection. She absolutely loves this off of me. From the house of Day 3 Fragrances, we're talking Aen. One of the very best vanillas that are out there. If you love Baby Cat, if you love Virtus Vanilla Oud, all the warm vanillas out there, then you got to get your nose on this. This does different things than from those fragrances, but you get this very smooth vanilla fragrance here. You do have a little bit of cashmere and a little bit of rose. It is just that Elamine is done just right in this fragrance. It's not over the top, blending in with this nice, silky, slightly charred vanilla presence here. Performance is a monster, but this stuff is absolutely sexy for sure. And it's not, like I said, this is the one recommendation that is represented from my wife. All right, and a lot of people love Aen. It's got a lot of positive reception. Shout out to Mike and his team over at Day 3, and rightfully so. But this is a win. If you're into vanilla, this is a true treat. This stuff is great, and my wife said so. From the house of Day 3 Fragrances, we're talking Aen. She deems this as one of the sexiest fragrances in my entire collection. Up next, from the house of Tom Ford, we have Black Orchid, the EDP. Now this one is long lost in people's memory in FragCom, but all my floral lovers, God, I love this stuff. Nice bundle of white and yellow florals. You get this smooth chocolate in here as well, that truffle note, slight spice to the fragrance, super unisex. Some may feel it leans a little bit feminine, slightly feminine, and I can see where people are coming from that. But in the cold, when you're dressed down, and when you're dressed up and you maneuver around, it's just one of those type of nights, and you want to kind of switch up the pace from your leather and your oud and your spices, and you want to kind of, let your hair down a little bit, because it's going to be one of those nights with you and your significant other. This is one to look into. Again, not talked about a lot these days in the community, but this is absolutely one of my favorites for the nighttime during the winter. And this is, I exclusively wear this during this time of year in the evening. So this is a great sexy fragrance, something for the cold air that's going to really shine. And like I said, those blends of florals, that chocolate, that vanilla, that truffle note, slight spice edge to it, it's good stuff. Unisex, leans slightly feminine, that doesn't bother me, and I'm sure it won't bother a lot of y'all, but if it does, that's why you should sample first, or go to your local Dillard's or Belk or Macy's or Saks and get your nose on this. From the house of Tom Ford, we have Black Orchid, and this is the EDP. They do have a Parfum version, which is an all gold bottle, but I prefer the EDP. All right. Up next, from the house of Nazar Fragrances, this is the latest creation from the brand, and this one is top 5 from the house for me. It could be higher as I continue to experience it. From the house of Nazar, we're talking Mango Tabac. Good Lord, Terrence outdid himself with this. This is a super duper compliment magnet, super duper going to get people's attention, and it did. My first full wearing of this, I got several compliments throughout the day. You get this delicious, very matured, sweet mango. You get tobacco. You get other spices. You get some floral representation in here as well. This definitely comes off gourmand, but it's not, again, it's not super sickly sweet. It's something about that mango and that tobacco and those spices that really form a beautiful creation. This stuff performs the whole day long. It works great when you're moving outside and the wind is blowing and that sillage is going to catch somebody. This stuff is a banger for sure. So Nazar Fragrances has a lot of great fragrances for this time of year, but this is one of the latest ones and it is awesome. So it is available now in not 100 ml, 30 ml bottle, 30 ml bottle. Save yourself 15% by using King Dedrick 15 for anything at Nazar and the brand new mango Tabac. This stuff is sexy, man. This stuff is great. From the house of Nazar Fragrances, mango Tabac, huge fan of this right here. Up next, one of my super duper personal favorites. I was so excited when I got this bottle in, but I was even more excited at the reaction of my wife when I wore it out for the very first time. From the house of Imperial Armani, we have Stronger With You. Absolutely. This is the one. This right here is still pound for pound #1 out of the line for me. There's others that compete, but let's talk about absolutely. That rum, that sweetness, that chestnut, it is so good. It is so I might wear this tomorrow. It is so good. I love that boozy effect with the sweet notes in here, and again, that chestnut. The chestnut was removed from the intensely, which added praline to give it more of a sweet. And a lot of people love intensely. I see a lot of love for intensely. I love intensely, and it's really, really good. But this is a little bit more mature, a little bit more smoothed out, more sexier to me, not as fun and playful, but a lot of intent with this fragrance for sure. So intimate settings, a nice night in, lounges, date night, just it beyond works, man. It beyond works, man. I believe I gave this to like a 9 out of a 10 or 9.5 out of a 10, and I still feel the same way. This stuff is awesome, and it's a great fragrance, especially for this time of year if you're trying to be about the sexy. From the house of Imperial Armani, we're talking Stronger With You. Absolutely. This stuff is goated, man. It is a goated designer fragrance for sure. All right. Up next, a lot of people may have not heard about this. Matter of fact, I think I'm the only person in FragCom that maybe has said anything about this fragrance. Not much conversation about this line, but I'm here to put you on. This is a gourmand leather that is woo-wee. From the house of Maison de Rock, we have Mousse de Cuir. Mousse de Cuir. I've talked about this a lot since I've gotten it in. Powerful fragrance for sure. But ultimately, the breakdown is a gourmand leather. Hazelnut, coffee, chocolate, infused with leather. It is a very present leather. It is a slightly sharp, smooth, soft leather, if that makes any sense. But you can smell the coffee, you can smell the chocolate, you can smell the hazelnut that is just beautifully blending with this fragrance. God, I just love how this smells. And again, for my mature fellas out there, you might not necessarily be into the super sweet fragrances. You're trying to hold off on those, but you wouldn't mind your fragrance to blend with a leather or an oud or certain spices. Here you go, fellas. This stuff is outstanding. Great performer. I've tested it on my skin, worn it out once, and you don't need that many sprays. Normally I'm 6 to 8 sprays. A good 3 to 4 sprays will get you done. Like for the whole night, for the whole evening. The sillage on this is great. The projection is really, really good. And the blend is nice. So leather rules in this fragrance. Yes, it sits at the top, but you definitely get those sweet participants that make this a really attractive and a really sexy fragrance for the winter time, for the colder months, particularly for the evening and nighttime for me. From the house of Mousse de Rock, Maison de Rock, we have Mousse de Cuir. Mousse de Cuir. This stuff is fire. Fire, 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 fire. Up next, again, another underrated masculine fragrance that is super, super sexy. This fragrance entails confidence. This fragrance is telling a story of a man who knows what's going on. He knows where he's been, he knows where he's going, and he knows what he wants. From the house of Tumi. Yes, Tumi. We're talking Continuum. My lord. My lord. Oud, leather, spices, just an absolute resinous, oriental type of vibe. This stuff is incredible. Iris is in here. This is not a makeup baggy iris. It's more on the more earthy, slightly powdery side of the iris. This stuff is slept on and super underrated, and that's sad. That's sad. All my fellas out there who are looking for an opportunity, again, you're not into the sweeter, super sweet fragrances, smell like ice cream and cupcakes. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a time and a place for that, for sure. But when you're stepping out, especially when you get around to your 30s, your 40s and beyond, hey man, you know you're trying to bring that pressure. You ain't to be played with. And if you're showing some interest in somebody out there, you want them to know. You want them to know that you got it under control and you're trying to show her for sure. Tumi Continuum, really, really, really great fragrance. You don't need that many sprays. This will send off the signal and send off the vibes that you want. Highly recommend this for the more masculine man, not looking to smell like bubblegum and cupcakes. Tap into it. Tap into it, man. All black. Maybe you got on a pea coat, nice sweater underneath, some nice slacks, some boots. You know, you're stepping out into the cold, going to your local cigar lounge or your favorite restaurant, steakhouse, or, you know, you're taking your lady on a special night out. I'm telling you, if your lady likes how, you know, if your lady tells you smell like a man, and they give you that kind of, that little look they be giving, my wife does that to me. You smell like a man. Like, want her man to smell like a man? Here you go. From the house of Tumi, we're talking Continuum. Very underrated, very sexy stuff for this time of year for sure. Don't sleep. All right. Up next, from the house of Rochas, we're talking Moustache, the EDP. Moustache, the EDP. Of course, this is in the conversation of Tuxedo. Oh God, from Tuxedo, from Yves Saint Laurent's Tuxedo. But this one, yes, is it in the vein? Absolutely. But does it do its own thing? Does it do it? Does it? It does its own thing. Benzoin, rose, patchouli, oriental, spicy, sweet, woody type of fragrance. What separates the Tuxedo vibe and the Moustache EDP vibe is what that benzoin does in here. It sweetens it up. You still get your woodsy lane. You still get that oriental, sweet type of vibe for sure. That oriental spice vibe you get. But the benzoin and the rose really do a fantastic job. This is another one that my wife really, really loves. I think this has patchouli in it, and she's not the biggest fan of patchouli, but you don't get a rise in patchouli with this fragrance. At least on my skin, I don't get a rise of patchouli. It's more of the benzoin, more of the rose, that oriental spice feel. And this is a great date night scent. This is a great date night scent, great cozy boy scent. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing your thing and you're vibing, this is one that's really, really good for sure. And it's amazing that you can get it for the price that you can get it at. That's the most amazing part about this. So if you're on a budget, but you're looking for something absolutely fire, in my opinion, tap in. Moustache EDP from Rochas. Rochas Moustache EDP. And last but not least, this is a legend. It's a legend. It's a legend in the community. Not too many things need to be said about this beautiful fragrance. From the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier, we have Le Male Les Parfums. Le Male Les Parfums JPG. This is just a classic. Beautiful powdery iris is what you're getting. Beautiful powdery iris, but so done so well, blended so nicely. Very sexy stuff. Very intimate. I remember about a month ago, long day at work, it was cool out, I came home, took a shower, you know, the wife made an absolute great dinner. Sunday night football was on, took me a hot shower, got out of the shower, I just put me a couple sprays onto this. And she was like, what are you wearing? what are you wearing? Grab me by the by the shirt. What are you wearing? I told her what it was. She was like, okay. And it just created that cozy vibe. But your boy was feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Your boy was feeling good. Wife came in and watched the game with me, just kind of wind down for the rest of the night. And it just, a situation that I'm sharing with y'all, that this fragrance kind of provoked a vibe. Provoked a vibe for sure. It's a classic in the community. Get your nose on it. Like I said, powdery iris, sweet. Just a sweet, powdery iris, clean. It's a clean vibe to this as well. It's really, really good. Very sexy for intimate encounters during the winter season. From the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier, we have Le Male Les Parfums. Classic in the community for sure. All right. So there you have it. Those are my 10 recommendations, man. If you are about the sexy, these 10 fragrances will get you through the colder months, the colder nights, and winter for winter 2025. All right. And this list could have been a top 20 or a top 30, but I pieced this together and I thought it was a good fit for this video. So if you're tapping in anything, get your sample or go to your local retailers. Most of these are available there, and see for yourself. But of course, what are your recommendations? What are y'all vibing with? What do y'all recommend for sexier fragrance options for the winter season, for the colder months? Can't wait to read them. Drop them down below for sure. All right. So as always, Smell Good family, I appreciate y'all for watching. Appreciate all y'all support, all the love. I do not take it for granted. It's a true blessing to have the support that I have. And I definitely thank y'all for all the love, man. So as always, be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves, positive energy, positive vibes, splack it up, splack it down, splack it that thing all around. And remember, what you put out into this world is exactly what you put out into this world. Let me get focused real quick. What you put out into this world is exactly where you're going to get back. That's for sure. Watch your energy out here, man. It's coming back to you. And good luck dealing with it. That's including for me too. That's included for myself too. All right. Till next time. Peace, man. Splacker. Stay sexy, my friends.